What's up guys, Mickle here, and over the last couple days we have had a bunch of massive motions in the Ripple SEC case. In this video, I want to break down all the most important things that you guys need to see and tell you guys how it's going to impact this case going forward. Most importantly, the SEC is desperately trying to kick John Deaton out of this case. In this video, I want to break down whether or not I believe this is going to work and some huge flaws in their most recent filing. We're also going to go over what a lot of different lawyers are saying about these most recent filings. Guys, there is so much to go over. You guys are definitely going to want to stick around for this whole thing. I also have something extremely interesting to show you at the end of this video. The more this case is dragged on, the more very interesting insight we have gotten into Ripple the company through leaked documents that we were never supposed to see. Guys, at the end of this video, I want to show you one of the more interesting documents I have seen that actually has come out of this Ripple SEC case. You guys are definitely going to want to stick around for that because I think it is actually extremely bullish for Ripple and XRP holders. Like always, if you guys are new to this channel or come here all the time, please take a second to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It goes such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link in the description below. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. Real quick, if you guys want to get 6 free stocks, make sure to sign up with MOO-MOO using the link in the description below. If you deposit just $1, you will win 6 free stocks, and each one could be worth up to $1,000, so make sure to check that out if you want some free stocks. With that said, let's start this thing off, and the first thing we have to go over, and this is breaking news, out of Bitcoin Magazine, breaking. Tesla has sold 75% of its Bitcoin holdings in Q2. So when I first saw this, I actually couldn't believe it and really got me thinking of what could be going on behind the scenes. The first thing that came to my mind, and likely the only thing that really makes sense to me, because guys, I really can't see Elon Musk paper handing Bitcoin unless there was a real reason on why he was forced to sell it. Elon Musk is clearly a very smart guy, and it doesn't make sense for him to simply change his mind on such a big decision like putting Bitcoin on his company's balance sheet. I think the most likely reason for why this happened was because the SEC was likely pressuring them on ESG. Something very interesting and something you probably didn't know unless you follow Tesla closely is that almost every single traditional auto company out there actually has a higher ESG score than Tesla. You might think that's completely absurd, and it is, with the fact that Tesla only sells electric vehicles and a lot of these traditional automakers sell mostly ICE vehicles. So how could these traditional automakers have higher ESG scores than Tesla? Well, something that I think is actually happening behind the scenes is that the SEC is essentially punishing Tesla for holding Bitcoin on its balance sheet. We know that the SEC does not like cryptocurrencies, and they have been doing everything they possibly can to try to stifle cryptocurrency innovation in the US. Therefore, I actually think it's possible that the SEC wanted to punish Tesla for putting Bitcoin on its balance sheet, and their way of doing that was actually to dock Tesla's ESG score. This would put a lot of pressure on Tesla and make them seem like a worse electric vehicle company than a lot of the other automakers out there. We know that Elon Musk and the SEC already have a lot of beef, so I would not be surprised at all if this was happening behind the scenes. I want to point out though that Tesla came out and said that the reason they actually sold the Bitcoin was to increase some cash due to some shutdowns in China. I don't know if I entirely buy that because Tesla has a lot of cash already on their balance sheet. They also have a lot of Dogecoin that they didn't sell. I'm not sure the SEC would have attacked Dogecoin as much because it's so much less of a factor than something like Bitcoin. But guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think Tesla sold their Bitcoin for ESG reasons? I also want to point out that Tesla said they would consider buying Bitcoin back. Definitely let me know what you guys think, but that's my theory. I think it's kind of probable. Anyway, let's keep a close eye on this. Let's move on though, and one more thing before we get into some big news in the Ripple SEC case. I wanted to show you this because it's pretty interesting. If you guys don't know who Ryan Selkis is, he is a huge Bitcoin maxi. He's known for hating both Ripple and XRP, but just today he tweeted out, "Never thought I'd say this, but here we are. Let's go Ripple, CC Brad Garlinghouse," and then posted this meme of essentially him and Brad Garlinghouse working together to take down the SEC. So I don't know what Ryan Selkis is actually doing to fight the SEC, but I thought this was pretty interesting. And if you guys take a look at this tweet, you will see a whole bunch of very prominent members of the XRP community actually commenting on this, like Michael Arrington and Brad Garlinghouse even commented as well. Here's Matt Hamilton. You can tell that all these people are absolutely shocked that Ryan Selkis is actually saying that he is in support of Ripple. Guys, this is a pretty big deal and just shows that people are finally starting to figure out this is not about Ripple, this is not about XRP, this is about the SEC attacking all of crypto, and they're trying to start this attack through Ripple and XRP. If these maxis actually want to see crypto prosper in the US, they need to realize that Ripple and XRP need to win this case, and there is no doubt about that. It's a very good sign to see these maxis finally flipping and finally supporting Ripple and XRP like we have been doing this entire time. I think it's a little late. I think they're kind of jumping on the bandwagon. It's pretty clear Ripple's going to win now, but nevertheless, it's still a very good sign and shows that the pressure on the SEC is really going to start ramping up, especially if a lot of the different people who don't normally follow Ripple and XRP start joining the cause and start pushing back against the corruption going on at the SEC. Let's move on though and talk about some really big motions currently going on in the Ripple SEC case. So one of the biggest things happening right now is yesterday the SEC desperately filed a motion to the court trying to kick John Deaton out of this case. So John Deaton was already admitted into this case. The SEC already tried to object to this, and the court said, look, too bad he's staying in this case. The SEC is trying to fight this issue again and is now coming back to the court and saying, look, you got it wrong. Please kick John Deaton out of this case. It's pretty absurd behavior by the SEC, especially since the court is already very obviously pissed off with the SEC, but I'm going to show you exactly what the SEC's chances are of actually winning this motion. First, I wanted to show you this because this kind of relates to it. This was pointed out by Ashley Prosper, and this is very interesting. This actually comes from Patrick Doody in his expert report, and this all goes to the John Deaton thing as well, because John Deaton's actually trying to respond to this expert report. But what Ashley Prosper pointed out here is really going to show you why it is so important that John Deaton is allowed into this case. And what Ashley Prosper points out here is direct evidence of why the court is gonna understand why John Deaton needs to be in this case. Ashley Prosper tweeted out, I believe this is the deposition of Patrick Doody, and it confirms he spoke with 0 XRP holders. And if we take a look at this deposition, and I'm not gonna go through it line by line because the Ripple lawyers essentially have to draw it out from him, but he essentially admits in this deposition, or he does admit in this deposition, that he did not interview a single XRP holder. Guys, this is the expert report the SEC hired to write about what XRP holders were thinking when they bought XRP. Do you realize how absurd it is that this guy is writing an expert report saying what XRP holders were thinking when they bought XRP without talking to a single XRP holder? Well, if you think that's bad, just wait, because it actually gets worse for the SEC. Listen to this. Ashley Prosper tweeted out, his views are subjective and easily dismissed. Plus, he admits that if he had taken a different approach, like actually talking to XRP holders, he may have reached a different conclusion. The court has no need for experts who don't examine all the evidence available to them. So guys, this is very interesting. Patrick Doody actually admitted in his deposition that he might have come to a different conclusion if he actually talked to some different XRP holders. Patrick Doody essentially admitted in the deposition that his entire report was flawed. He admits that he just made a wild accusation in his expert report and doesn't have any evidence to back it up. Not only that though, he goes out of his way to admit that if he actually had evidence, he very likely could have had a different conclusion. Guys, I don't see how there is any way possible that Judge Torres is gonna read this thing and actually think Patrick Doody's report has any merit to it. The good news about that is this is a massive reason on why John Deaton needs to be admitted into this case. John Deaton needs to come into this case and explain to the court what XRP holders were really thinking. And unlike Patrick Doody, John Deaton actually talked to XRP holders. So he actually knows what he's talking about and actually has reliable evidence to support his claims. This is why I believe that when Judge Torres sees this, she's going to have no other option but allow John Deaton to actually get involved in this case. How could she possibly trust Patrick Doody if he has already admitted that his methodology is flawed, and if he took the proper action to actually go forward and get the proper information, that his conclusion would have changed? He essentially proves his own work unreliable. But guys, I'm going to show you what Attorney Fred pointed out here because I think it's a very interesting perspective. So Attorney Fred pointed out, and this is completely independent from what I showed you before, but Attorney Fred said that Judge Torres is not going to reverse her amici ruling. The SEC's backhand reconsidered motion will be denied. So he's pointing out here that there is no way Judge Torres is the type of judge who's going to make a decision like she did to allow John Dean into this case and then come back and change her mind. What he's pointing out here is it's pretty absurd for the SEC to be trying to re-argue this issue because you're only going to piss off the judge even further. I thought this was a great point because we have already seen the court very upset with the SEC, so I think it's pretty crazy that the SEC is once again trying to relitigate issues that the court has already decided on. Something else that Attorney Fred pointed out in his tweet thread that really caught my eye was the fact that the SEC actually accused Ripple of lying in this case, which turned out to be a false claim. He pointed out that the SEC better be very careful about making accusations like this, because if it turns out that the SEC is actually lying about Ripple lying, then Judge Torres is going to drop the hammer on the SEC. And based on what I have seen and based on what different lawyers are saying about this, it does in fact look like the SEC was the party that was lying. Big surprise, I know, right? But guys, the SEC is not being very careful here because summary judgment is right around the corner, and that is not something you want to go into with the judges not on your side. I want to show you one last interesting thing though, and guys, this was very, very interesting. This is one of the few things that I actually really like about the Ripple SEC case, and that's the fact that we get to see a bunch of interesting documents internally from Ripple that we would have likely never gotten to see if it wasn't for this case. Take a look at this. This was pointed out by Ashley Prosper. This is a note internally from Ripple from their Slack messages. Slack is like an internal communication messaging app, and this is one of the quotes from a Ripple employee. Bank analysts have taken very well to the corrections and eager to get the right information in front of folks that matter with deep pockets. So essentially this Ripple employee is pointing out that banks are taking very close notice to XRP. They're not worried about corrections, and they're really just focused on learning about the asset. And then another Slack message in this same conversation, someone said, what a blessing it is to have the XRP army to say things we legally shouldn't. Very interesting, guys. It looks like the Ripple employees know that the XRP army is on the right track. They know that the XRP army is digging up all kinds of great information that they're illegally not allowed to talk about. Guys, I can't wait to see what comes true once this case is over, once Ripple has the guardrails taken off. Anyway, guys, though, I hope you enjoyed this update. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really means so much. And for now, Mickle out.